Okay, just want to look further on exponentials. Say you had y equals 2 to the x. So we know the basic sketch of y equals 2 to the x is like that, and it goes through 1. If you add a number to y equals 2 to the x, say 3, then normally this is where it would be. That's y equals 2 to the x. And if you move that up 3, then that would be at 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it would go through 4. So it's the same graph. It just goes through 4. So let's just say we had y equals 2 to the x and we minus the 4. Then y equals 2 to the x, the first graph will go through 1. But if you take away 4, then you've got to go down 4. So that's down 1, down 2, down 3, down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where it would sit. Not at minus 4, just down 4 from the number 1. So that would be if you come down here. And then when you draw the curve through there, it's the same curve. It's actually parallel to the other curve. It's just shifted down. Okay, what do you think would happen if I stuck a negative in front of y equals 2 to the x? So let's draw our original function. Y equals 2 to the x goes through 1. So that's y equals 2 to the x. I'm just going to label it. Now, if you flip that graph, it'll go through minus 1. So when you flip it, it'll look like that. And that's what putting a negative in front flips it. The same as if you put a negative in front of minus x squared, it flips it. If you put a negative in front of 2 to the x, it just flips the original graph in the x-axis. So let's just say you had y equals 3 to the x. Now, the only difference between y equals 3 to the x and 2 to the x is that y equals 3 to the x will be steeper. You think about it, if I put in x equals 1, then you're going to get y equals 3 to the 1. So it's going to go through, when you put x equals 0, you're going to get y equals 3 to the 0, which is 1. So it's going to go through 1. And then when x equals 1, y equals 3 to the 1, which is 3. So it's going to go through 3. So that's what it looks like. Okay, but if you drew y equals 2 to the x on the same diagram, if you put in x equals 0, you still get 2 to the 0, which is 1. If you put in x equals 1, you get 2 to the 1, which is 2. So it still goes through that point there, but it'll go through 1, 2. Do you notice that it is actually not as steep? That's y equals 2 to the x as y equals 3 to the x. So if I took that same graph, y equals minus 3 to the x, and I stuck a minus in front, that would just flip it. That flips it. So instead of being at 1, that would be y equals 3 to the x. If I flip that graph in the x-axis, it'll go to minus 1, and it's like symmetric. You can almost fold it in half. That would be y equals minus 3 to the x.